You love your cat. That much isn't the question. But what if I told you that some of the most normal things you do at feeding time, things that feel responsible, even caring, are quietly causing your cat physical pain and internal damage they have no way to tell you about? Not occasionally, every single day. Vets see the same mistakes repeated in their clinics, made by owners who genuinely care, but were simply never told the truth. And the one mistake almost nobody catches? I'll get to that one specifically, because once you see it, you'll never look at your cat's bowl the same way again. 1. Leaving food out all day. You fill the bowl in the morning, top it off when it looks low, and feel good knowing your cat always has access to food. It feels generous, responsible, like you're making sure they're never hungry. But here's what's actually happening inside your cat's body. Indoor cats do not regulate their own intake the way outdoor hunters do. When food is continuously available, the instinctive hunger signal, the neurological cue that tells a cat when to eat and, more importantly, when to stop, gets completely overridden. What replaces it is boredom eating. Your cat isn't grazing because they're hungry. They're grazing because the bowl is there. The weight numbers matter more than most owners realize. 2 extra pounds on a cat is the metabolic equivalent of 30 extra pounds on an average human. That excess weight puts direct daily pressure on joints, accelerates liver stress, and is one of the primary drivers of feline diabetes, a condition requiring lifelong management once it develops. The fix is simple. Switch to scheduled meals. 2 to 3 times daily, with portions measured by weight on a digital kitchen scale, not by eye. Your cat will meow at you. That's expected. Within 1 week, their hunger signals recalibrate, boredom grazing stops, and you have an accurate daily picture of exactly how much they're consuming. You'll notice the change in their energy level and their body shape within 30 days. 2. Using a deep food bowl. You bought a nice bowl. It holds a full portion, it doesn't tip over, it looks fine. Your cat eats from it every single day. You've never thought twice about it. Here's the truth most people don't know. Your cat's whiskers are not decorative. They are precision neurological instruments, each one packed with nerve endings that send continuous spatial and pressure signals directly to the brain. When your cat's face goes into a deep bowl, those whiskers press against the sides at every single bite. That friction doesn't feel mildly uncomfortable. Veterinary behaviorists document it as whisker fatigue, a sensory overload that generates real, measurable neurological stress with every meal. The signs are easy to miss if you don't know what you're looking for. If your cat drags food out of the bowl and eats it off the floor, they are not being strange. If they eat only the food in the very center and then walk away from a bowl that still has food in it, they are not being picky. They are actively trying to avoid pain. At every meal, without being able to tell you why. The fix is one of the easiest changes you'll ever make. Replace deep bowls with wide, shallow dishes or flat plates. Nothing that forces the whiskers to contact the sides. Most cats show an immediate behavioral shift. They eat the entire portion calmly and completely. That change in behavior is your confirmation of what they were experiencing before. And before we get into the next one, if this is already changing how you see what's happening at your cat's bowl, hit like and subscribe. We cover cat behavior and nutrition every week, and the next few mistakes on this list are ones most owners never connect to the symptoms they're already seeing. 3. Feeding in the wrong location. You set the bowl down in the kitchen, busy, other people moving through, maybe another pet nearby. Your cat eats, or at least they appear to. It looks fine from the outside. But here's what's actually happening. In the wild, eating is one of the most vulnerable moments in any animal's day. A cat focused on food cannot simultaneously scan its environment for threats. That survival wiring is still fully intact in your domestic cat. When they eat in a high-traffic, unpredictable or multi-pet environment, their cortisol, the primary stress hormone, spikes at the exact moment their body needs to be calm enough to digest. A University of Bristol study found that cats eating in high-stress environments were 45% more likely to develop chronic gastrointestinal issues than cats fed in calm, consistent locations. Sustained cortisol elevation alters gastric emptying, the rate at which food moves through the digestive system, producing chronic vomiting, loose stools, and long-term immune suppression that your vet eventually encounters as recurring illness. The fix doesn't require a dedicated room. It requires consistency and separation. Same quiet corner every time. Away from foot traffic. Away from other pets. Put the bowl down and step back. Let your cat eat without an audience. Within a few weeks of making this change, any vomiting or digestive irregularity you'd written off as normal will likely improve significantly. That improvement tells you exactly what was driving it. 4. Serving food straight from the refrigerator. You open a can of wet food, scoop the second half into the bowl, and serve it cold. Your cat sniffs it, turns around, and walks away. You assume they're just being difficult. They're not being difficult. They're responding to evolutionary biology that goes back thousands of years. Cats evolved as hunters. Every meal they consumed in the wild arrived fresh, and fresh prey is warm, at approximately the same temperature as their own body, around 100 degrees Fahrenheit. That warmth is the signal their brain uses to assess whether food is nutritionally viable and safe to eat. Cold food suppresses the aromatic compounds cats rely on to identify what's in front of them. To your cat's senses, cold food doesn't just smell less appealing, it registers as potentially unsafe, biochemically similar to something that has been dead too long. Studies in feline feeding behavior consistently show that cats eat significantly more reliably, when food is served near body temperature. Chronic undereating in cats, especially in seniors, creates serious risk. A cat that repeatedly undereats is at elevated risk for muscle wasting, immune decline, and the very organ strain you're trying to prevent through good nutrition. The fix takes 30 seconds. Let refrigerated wet food sit at room temperature for 15 minutes before serving, or warm it briefly in the microwave, stirring thoroughly to eliminate hot spots. The difference in your cat's response will be immediate. They'll approach the bowl, eat completely, and finish the portion. That's not pickiness disappearing. That's their biology being met correctly. 5. Switching food too quickly. You find a better brand, higher protein, cleaner ingredients, no fillers. You feel genuinely good about the upgrade. So you finish the old bag, open the new one, and fill the bowl. Within 48 hours, your cat is vomiting, refusing to eat, or both. Here's what you're not thinking about. Your cat's gut microbiome, the ecosystem of bacteria responsible for breaking down food and supporting immune function, is precisely calibrated to their current diet. An abrupt change doesn't just introduce new ingredients. It destabilizes the entire microbial environment, triggering intestinal inflammation and digestive shutdown. The symptoms are physiological, not behavioral. Your cat isn't protesting the new food. Their gut is in crisis. And here's where it becomes genuinely dangerous. If your cat refuses the new food and stops eating for 24 to 48 hours, their liver faces a critical failure point. Feline livers are not built to process mobilized fat reserves during fasting the way other animals' livers can. When a cat stops eating for even 2 days, fat floods the liver for energy conversion, and the organ begins to fail. A condition called hepatic lipidosis, frequently fatal without immediate veterinary intervention. Overweight cats reach this threshold even faster. The fix is a 10-day transition. Begin with 25% new food mixed into 75% old. Increase the ratio gradually every 2 to 3 days. Their gut microbiome adjusts without shock, the transition holds, and the new diet takes effect cleanly. Patience at this stage isn't optional, it's medical. 6. The mealtime meowing you've been misreading entirely. Remember at the beginning when I said there was one mistake almost nobody catches? One that changes how you see every single feeding once you understand it. This is the one. Your cat follows you into the kitchen. They meow at you before meals, insistently, repeatedly, making direct eye contact. They circle your feet and call out again. Most owners label this as demanding behavior, manipulation even. The common narrative is that your cat has trained you, not the other way around, and that these vocalizations are purely transactional. Here's what's actually happening. Adult cats do not meow at other cats, at all. Researchers studying feline communication established that the meow, as a sustained, directed vocalization, is a behavior that domestic cats developed specifically and exclusively for communicating with humans. It is absent in feral cat colonies, even among animals living in close daily contact with one another. Your cat learned, across years of living with you, that this particular sound reaches you. And they use it for one primary purpose: to connect with you specifically. A study from the University of Sussex found that cats modulate their mealtime calls with an embedded frequency that humans instinctively register as more urgent, falling in a range similar to an infant's cry. They are not gaming you. They built a private communication channel directed entirely at you, and they use it every day. The mealtime meowing is not a personality flaw or a manipulation tactic. It is a relationship. Your cat developed a form of language that exists nowhere else in nature, one designed specifically and only for reaching you. Every time they use it, that's what it means. The good thing is, none of this requires a perfect overhaul starting tomorrow. Every single change on this list, the bowl, the location, the temperature, the transition timing, is something you can begin today. Your cat has been trying to eat comfortably, digest without stress, and communicate clearly the entire time. Now you know how to meet them there.